when everything is played together.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I wanted something aggressive but classic.
Let's be honest, you're not gonna find these videos anywhere else. Why? Because I make them. So it would really help me out if you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what also really helps is if you like the video and leave a comment. It's hard in the era of clickbait videos on YouTube and negativity in the producer community, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
Oh, we got the tutorial ready.
Yeah, no, I've been ready for an hour because I do not want to mess these settings up. Streaming from a DAW is difficult. That's an art in and of itself.
I feel you.
Yeah, I know you know. Normally, my process is I start with melodies, chords, that kind of thing. And today I'm just going to show you how I created something that, I loved sampling. I still love sampling. I'm not going to lie, I do it. Just don't tell anybody. But when it comes down to creating something, original, if there's such thing as an original idea, I like making it sound as close to a sample as possible because that's where I started. That's where hip hop started. That's where I came from. So sonically, I want to achieve that at least as close to that sound as possible. So here you'll see I have a mixture of VSTs. So like, I don't know what this is. That's organ. Some little pieces of organ that I played, little whatever these are, bass line, I think. Yeah, bass line, that's a VST. And then I grabbed a lot of individual sounds from Splice. I use Splice a lot. And just put them all together to create this composition that does sound like it could be an old sample. So this is what it sounds like when everything is played together.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I wanted something aggressive but classic. So once I create something like that,
that's so sick. I like aggressive but classic. That's like such a great way of giving that kind of the energy behind it, but it completely and immediately immaculately explains it.
Because that's what I feel like my favorite beats sound like. If I were to think of, like I don't know, like the Just Blaze Kanye era of soul digging production. Yeah. A lot of that was real aggressive, but it was also very classic sounding, and you felt like you were getting a history lesson and connecting with, like this history of black music that was just this amazing experience. And so if we're not going to, digging in the record crates nowadays is kind of a lost art to an extent, but we can still learn a lot by drawing on inspiration by, our musical predecessors. So what I would do then, because I'm used to sampling, then I will bounce out that sample that I created and just bring it back into my DAW. So here it is. I changed it a little bit. I just pitched it down a little bit. Yeah. Added a low piano to really add some aggression. And then let's see. I have no idea what's going to happen next. Let's see. A great way to make an impact. I'm going to show you some of my cheat codes. Great way to make an impact is with a crash cymbal kit combination. So and tell me if I'm running out of time here because I get in the
No. I could honestly watch this for like hours and hours, and like anytime we are able to like get behind the scenes like with something like this, like I'm intrigued. Chat here is loving it. So I know we have some aspiring DJs and producers who are here who are all people who have used the Beatstars platform before too. Let me ask you while you're doing this. Typically, like if you have an idea and a concept and you know kind of where you want to head with something aggressive but classic or whatever the feel might be, start to finish, do you have like a general like average of time? You're like, I can knock a quick beat out in 10 minutes. I could do this in an hour.
I could knock a quick beat out in an hour, but sometimes the beat has other ideas. You know what I mean? So it might be something that doesn't happen, and I might spend an hour just getting the chords right, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish musically. So this one, I feel like I already did the hard work by creating the sample. I can kind of psychologically, I feel like, all right, I did the work. Let me just focus on making it a hard ass beat with these drums. So the way I start is I will clip. Oops, that's the pen. I would clip the hell out of the kick, and then send it to a soft clipper, and then bust the crash to the soft clipper as well. So you get this really hard impact, and then
that's just to hit the chest right there. Yeah,
exactly. I want to get kicked in the stomach every time I listen to one of my beats. Unless it's like a sad, emotional beat that someone's going to write a song, tribute to their grandma to, then you don't want to get kicked in the chest.
I don't know if I've ever heard a beat of yours in which I want to like cry to or whatever. I feel like I do get repeatedly kicked in the chest in the best way possible every time I listen to one of your compositions. Respectfully.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that could be my new slogan, just like a picture of Hannah getting kicked by
DJ Pain One. I kick Hannah in the chest.
Beautiful. Put that on a t-shirt. But I'm trademarking it. Trust me, my best friend's a trademark.
You can have that one. I'll let you take that one.
Thank you. So then, okay, here's another shortcut. I know a lot of people use templates. When I release a drum kit, it's sounds that I use myself. So for example, this hi-hat loop is from not my newest kit, my last kit, Damn That Hurt Volume 5. Just because sometimes if I really have an idea and I want to get it done in a timely manner, this just helps to throw on something that I already like. So I have these hi-hat loops. And I like how they sound. It's a ride and
I like that
combination. And then I will throw on a hard snare. I like the snare. Let's go with that. What is this? This is my sub bass. Actually, let's add on another layer. Tubular bell just makes everything sound like a matter of urgency, doesn't it? Like you're beating the clock.
That is an epic sound right there. The more that you're adding to this beat, and I don't know about you, but I'm thinking of at least 2 different people who would float the fuck over this beat right now. I'm thinking this is giving me Rick Ross. This is giving me Jeezy. And I know you've done a lot of work with Jeezy in the past, but this is giving me that hard, aggressive, you get slapped in the face in the best way possible. If you had to pick an artist right now who you think could fly and soar over this beat that you're putting down right now, does anything come to mind?
I'm damn near always gonna say Jadakiss, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I think I'm just trying to will that into existence because I've worked with him, but like on features. I had a record with The Game featuring Jadakiss and a few others. But yeah, I'd love to just do an entire Jadakiss album.
Well, listen, Jadakiss, if you want.
Thank you.
Yeah, if Jadakiss is watching right now, listen, we got Pain One here. There's a whole, pack of beats that can be yours exclusively through Beatstars from DJ Pain One. I would love to see a project with you and Jada. I feel like that would be ridiculous. I might cease to exist for like a few hours after listening to it, but I'd be all right with that.
I might cease to exist for a whole month, honestly. Oh yeah, and then also doing the same thing I did with the crash, but with an open hat.
Yeah.
Gets a similar effect. If you can't hear the difference, that's fine. I can hear the difference, and I know in my heart I'm doing the right thing. Let's see. And then you can maybe get crazy with the drums. It gets weird when you start getting into like triplet patterns.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound bad.
Oh, that's sick. You know what the cool thing is, especially on a platform here like Twitch, in which we get behind the scenes of like watching people and gamers play, and you get to see like combinations and the way that they're able to like facilitate moves and patterns or whatever it is. Watching you do this, it's not that dissimilar. You're really getting like the inner workings of how things are pieced and come together, and like basically weaving your way into victory to make this beat come together in real time. You're so quick with it. I'm watching and I'm like, shit, an hour. My man's gonna make a beat in like 10 minutes for us right now, but I feel like this is.
Oh yeah.
It's
I have a full hour.
Yeah, I mean, we got 30 more minutes. We can get it together.
I didn't know that. See, I thought I had half a little bit more time for the whole thing. Okay,
we got a little more time. There is a question here in the chat from Mr. Woodchuck 420. Do you do tutorials on beat making at all? Is there anywhere where people can go log on? Is there a space on Beatstars? Is there a place on any of your own socials where you do beat making like this that people can tap into?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about Beatstars is that now I have a new show on the platform through Twitch. So shout out to Twitch and shout out to Beatstars and shout out to their partnership. Every Tuesday, so if you're watching this right now live, this is going down tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Beatstars.live on their Twitch channel. And it's a live beat making show. But the special angle is that you can submit, if you're a Beatstars member and a Twitch follower, you can submit 3 loops of yours every week, and then either me or a celebrity guest producer will make a beat with your loop live.
Okay.
And it's amazing to watch because there are a lot of producers that are up and coming, and they look up to the celebrity guest producers that I have on. Like we Beatstars did a deal with Taylor Gang, so a bunch of Taylor Gang producers have been joining my show, making beats. One guy made 4 R&B Justice made 5 beats in a 2-hour period with user submitted loops. So wild. Tomorrow every single Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Beatstars.live. But also my YouTube channel is full of tutorials, not just about making beats, but also music business topics, selling beats, getting paid for your beats, how royalties actually work. And you can check that out, youtube.com/DJPayne1. I'm easy to find on all platforms. It's just DJ Payne1 everywhere.
I love that. So the Twitch show partnered with Beatstars. That's looped in every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You said you have a lot of special guest celebrity-style producers who come in. Do you have a guest tomorrow that you can hype us to?
Yeah. Yep. Tomorrow we got Proud by Winnie, and she is a Beatstars/Sony Publishing signee. I've seen a lot of her videos online, so you're in for a treat. Hopefully you submitted. If you haven't submitted, check out beatstars.world. Last week we had S&C, also affiliated with Taylor Gang. It seems like honestly, it seems like Taylor Gang is just kind of creating this monopoly of dope producers, and I don't know what they have up their sleeve, but it's big.
No, it's cool. I mean, the more that we talk about it, I mean, I know Beatstars got over like 3 million active users, like all around the world. I already have like 3 million jobs myself, but I was like, the more and more that you talk about it, I was like, am I becoming a beat maker now too? Like in my like 3 free minutes every day that I have, like it's really incredible the way that, whether it's someone who's established or someone who's emerging or just joining the platform for the first time, that they're nourished in this capacity because you have people from all walks of life and all experience levels who are joining the platform and like you said, huge songs like Cardi's Up or Old Town Road all came from Beatstars creators. That's like a huge stamp of approval and acknowledgement for a platform that's really putting on for creators. Because I know it can be really difficult in this space to be a creator, to get your music out there, and then you're like, to also get paid, to also, monetize on something like this. For you, what's one of the key things that you've found, whether it's a producer, a beat, an experience that you've had with Beatstars, like that's a big takeaway for you that like is forever imprinted as like, this is the shit?
Oh my God, that's a hard question. The whole thing is just, it has been such an experience because it really forced me to start considering things I didn't consider before. I mean, you're effectively, not even effectively, you're literally becoming a small business the second you do something like sign up for Beatstars, or if you're a recording artist, the second you sign up for a distribution platform, which you can also do through Beatstars, but whichever platform you use, you are a business, and so that comes with a lot. You know what I mean? Like someone doesn't open a gas station or a restaurant and think, all I got to do is sell gas, all I got to do is serve food. There's a lot of marketing. You have to deal with taxes. You have to deal with all of these different elements of business ownership. And I don't think any of us are ready for it when we start. I sure wasn't. I don't know anybody. None of my peers were ready. So this isn't something that I learned a lot through the BeatStars platform. I mean, this is why I'm always trying to spread the information, like Mike Trampy, for example, from Beatstars, or Abe from Beatstars. We've jumped on lives before to talk about how to use Beatstars data, export Beatstars data, import it into the Meta platform to create really advanced ad targeting, for example. And that's like higher level stuff. And then, you know, we talk to people like the owner of TubeBuddy to talk about how to use effective SEO tools to gain more traction on YouTube if you're uploading your beats there, which you should be. So for me, the sum total of it all is just about always being willing to learn something new and always being willing to try something new and make terrible mistakes. Everything I've done in the music business started out as a terrible mistake and me thinking, damn, I messed that up. But then learning from that mistake, you know, if it was like learning to ride a bike. If I'm scared of falling off the bike, I'm never going to get on the bike. So the second I fall, I'm like, damn, that hurt. But it wasn't that bad. So let me try again. So yeah, all these bad things happen in the music business. But when we first started, I'm like, life is good. I could get 5 beats stolen tomorrow and life is still good because all of the positive things that are happening completely outweigh that. And Beatstars, actually, you know what? I talk way too damn much, but I'll say this one last thing about what I learned from the platform. It forced me to be on a schedule because the second you start uploading beats, if you stop, you lose a lot of momentum. You start seeing your Beatstars followers go up, your YouTube comments are coming in, and a lot of us beat makers have hard drives full of beats. And they're just sitting there not doing anything. So the second I just
why not upload it, see what goes?
See what goes, but then it's also you're getting immediate feedback whether you like it or not because it's the internet. People on the internet will tell you something that you either do or don't want to hear. You don't have a choice. But yeah, just that whole concept of not being afraid to release music, not hoarding music, not waiting for the right time, just going out there and doing it and building and maintaining momentum, I think is a huge lesson.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's great educational value, one, in just going out there and doing it. And then you had mentioned something earlier about, you know, when you're getting into this business, nobody really knows what they're doing. But, you know, one of the pieces of advice that I've been given, and no matter what industry you're in, is whatever business you're going into, learn the business side of it too. Like, take the steps that you need in order, like, in any business, probably yourself, mine included, like, I have an entertainment lawyer. Read me a contract because I am not a lawyer to know like the ins and outs of it. And I say that because I'm reading here from more notes here from the Beatstars publishing sector. They have an in-house counsel for members, assists with negotiating fair deals, collecting royalty payments. So that's, there is that part where it's like, get out there and do it and push the beats out there and just do it. You know, something's going to catch on one day. But then also having that availability to have that kind of security behind it as well, too, speaks volumes because there's, one part is the creativity and artistry, but then there is the business side of it. And how do we, monetize and get paid? I mean, it says here, I'm looking, over $200 million was paid out to Beatstars creators recently, which is a massive milestone. And in a place where we're talking about, Spotify's and titles or whatever it is, and not paying creators their due justices. I mean, $200 million for this in a platform that it feels like it's on the rise and only going to be even bigger and better is a massive accomplishment. So it's incredible to see everything that's been happening with the platform over the past better part of almost a decade and a half. I want to say it was like 2008 when Beatstars first came about, right? I think it's been around for a little while. I don't know,
probably. I think so, yeah, because I didn't join it until like 2013 maybe.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, even in that time, like you're almost 10 years here on the platform, which is incredible. So I love to see the evolution of it. I love to see where it started and where it's going. If anyone's just joining us, we're in conversation with DJ Pain One. He's part of the Beatstars community. He's live here on the Beatstars Live and on the Twitch show, looped in every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, making beats, putting on for up-and-coming aspiring creators as well. Let's dive back into this beat for a second. Where at in this process where you see where you're at, how much more do you envision that you have to go from this point? Or do you just keep adding and taking away until like something just all sits and fits nice?
Yes and no. I think I'm kind of at a point in my process where I know what is too much, and so I kind of err on the side of minimalism, just because I've had a ton of conversations with recording artists and ask them directly, hey, what to you makes a good beat? And they almost always comment that they need space for their vocals. So don't throw a bunch of extra stuff in the beat that's going to crowd out their ability to, write, record, etc. Because even if they're listening to it, even if they want to cut something out later on during the mixing process, their ears are interpreting all this extra stuff that's maybe conflicting with a melody idea that they have in their heads or a cadence that they have in their heads. So I try to keep stuff pretty minimal. That's why I'm not going to add too much to this right now. I got the hard ass drums. It needs bass. Let me get the drums right, and then we'll hit the bass. And if we got time, I can kind of show you how I sequence stuff.
Hell yeah. I like that you said that there's space that needs to be created. We were in conversation with huge pop star Hayley Kiyoko a couple weeks ago, and she said the same thing. She's working with a producer. She's working with, was it Hitmaker? And she said the way and the reason why she loves working with him is because he creates beats that leave so much space for her to do whatever she wants. And yeah, they can go back in afterwards, but it almost comes in so raw and so, I don't want to say unfinished, but just with enough space for her to do what she wants. There's an ad lib here, whatever, and then they can go back in, like you said, master it, fix it up, do what they do. But creating that space, one, not only for an artist to just, come and sit over, but creating that space by virtue of allowing this to be a true collaborative process.
Yeah, and a lot of artists recording artists do prefer unfinished beats, just so that they can write, record, and then the producer produces. With the way that this stuff works nowadays, that's a little rarer. So you really have to anticipate the artist's needs when you upload, because you're probably not going to be in the same room as them, and so you have to do a lot of guesswork and add some drops, but don't overdo it. Sequence it in a way that's clear and that the format is clear, but also don't make it too predictable. You know what I mean? But I think the takeaway is if I had to choose between getting complex and overthinking it or potentially creating something a little too minimal, I'm going to go with too minimal, because the recording artist always can add to that, and we as producers have to keep that. So it helps if you are making beats, it helps to really transition into production by working with artists directly, just so you can understand how a voice as an instrument, because it is an instrument, interacts with a beat. Yeah. If you don't understand that, you're just you're crowding out potential artists. Yeah. Yeah, no, you got to give them an opportunity to show what they do, and then afterwards, like you said, you can add more after. It's tougher to peel stuff back if you've already given something fully finished and you're like, here it is, deal with it, rather than being able to build on everything that is being bounced back and forth. All right, so we're diving back into the beat here. You said you were going to add a little bit more bass to it. Is that where we're heading next? I'm adding this little fill right now.
Okay.
Just to see. All right, so I usually work within a 4-bar sort of system. So right now this is a full 4 measures. I'm going to copy that and paste it. So now I have 8. I'm going to treat this as the chorus section, because choruses are generally 8. But what I want to do is I don't want to make them identical. And I want to signal to whoever's listening that something's coming up. And in this case, this would be the start of the first verse. So I want to change, at very least, I want to change the ending of this second 4-bar sequence and make it a little more dramatic to signal end of the chorus, crescendo up, and then we're going to drop the dynamic down into the first verse.
Nice.
So let's get super dramatic. Bring the crashes.
Give me the drama. I'm living for it. Dramatize it.
Yeah, this is my I'm just a dramatic person, believe it or not. Don't let the monotone voice fool you.
You're dramatic. I was gonna say, you so low key about it. You're the chillest dramatic individual I ever met in my life, A1.
That's what they always say about the craziest people. I'm kidding about that. I go to therapy.
Nah, you gotta watch out for the quiet ones. They'll get you.
No, we're just thinking about beats.
Yeah, exactly.
me cut out the hi-hats. Those don't need to be there. Yeah, let's
It's the
make it
signaling.
really dramatic.
He's signaling that the
I'm
lyrics
signaling,
about to
yeah,
come
yeah.
in.
One bar.
Ooh.
Okay, so then something has to happen after that, which is probably... Actually, let's add the bass line first. And you notice I'm constantly saving. You can't ever save enough. A major key for...
I feel you on that.
Yes. Especially with video. Oh my God. That's a tragedy when you lose video, because that's audio and video data that you're losing.
I had a conversation with Gashi last week, and we were talking about how many revisions a beat or a song goes through. And there's this great like meme that goes around where like a song or a beat is labeled like final mix version 1.2, no for real this time, .wav, like whatever it is. It's like the naming function just gets wilder because you think it's the finished, and you're like, oh, let me tweak it a bit, oh, let me go again. But it's the same with video too, where I'm like, I always like preemptively, I'm like final, and I should just be like, not this one, version 3, like it just keeps going and going.
It's never the final. It depends on who you work with. But when you're working with perfectionists, you're going to end up with like 15 drafts of the same song. And at the end of it, once you hit that 15th draft, I can almost guarantee you they're going to say, yeah, let's go with the second. And you're going to be pissed. But that's just the process.
But there's got to be a point too where you just kind of have to walk away from here, and you're like, well, if I don't feel like it's done, I'm also on a deadline. So at a certain point, you just got to be like, well, this actually is the final.
That's why I think deadlines are a blessing. Honestly, a lot of creators, when I talk to creatives, they have this artist attitude, and I understand it. As artists, we're perfectionists. We're emotionally connected to not only our product, but our process as well. And we personalize everything. So when someone imposes a deadline onto us, they're like, you can't put a deadline on greatness. And it's like, yeah, you can, because you have real people out there that are depending on you to get this done. So that's another reason why I say always err on the side of minimalism if given the choice, and we're always given the choice. But yeah, I mean, if you want this to be a business, literally every other business on the planet has normal operating hours. You have to 1,000%. Create, you have to release, you have to consistently do both, even on days when you don't feel like it. Unfortunately, it may not be the best beat that you make that day when you're not feeling up to it, but figure out something else that you can do to be productive and continue moving that momentum forward.
Yeah, it's cool because earlier you had mentioned too that like one of your biggest takeaways is that it forced you to get on a schedule and be a little bit more organized. And much like we're talking about deadlines and stuff, dude, Mama, this morning I was up live on my Twitch channel. I did a DJ set at 7 a.m. because I know that I have obligations. I have sponsors, I have advertisers, and there's a certain amount of time streaming that I need to hit. And even though I've been on the road for like 95% of this month already, I was like, this is forcing me to have a schedule and get organized. No, I'm not going to go out late like last night. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get my shit together, because you have that. And it's the same, not just because of the monetization or the sponsor aspect of it. Like you said earlier, there's a community that's waiting for you to upload a beat. There's a community waiting to see what I'm doing DJing as well too. So that kind of structure in and of itself, like you said, every other business has deadlines and operating hours. So why not this as well too? It doesn't take away from the fun of it, but I feel like the more, consistent, that hustle mode, that grind, that consistency, that's just going to keep getting creators much like yourself up into the next level. Yeah, because if you're not consistent, if you're not showing the people that have supported you that you appreciate them, someone else is going to. Yeah, 1,000%. So I'm creating a bass line with these sub 8s or basses, or 808s as people call them, but I do it in a higher register just to make sure, because your ears, once you drop down into the sub bass range of the frequencies, you really can't necessarily distinguish between the right note and the wrong note if they're like a half step away from each other. So I start higher up where my ears can hear whether they're the correct. I know a lot of producers who do this, but what's crazy is I know a lot of producers who don't do this. So if you're not doing this, do this. And you will never have out of key bass lines again. Cheat code from Pain One.
Let's see, that's not the right note.
Yeah, this is sick. I love how quick you work too. I'm so intrigued by everything that's happening right here.
Yeah, it's fun to just kind of black out and.
No, he's in the zone right now. Listen, we got only a couple minutes left here, so as soon as you get this bass line locked in, I want you to run it back for us so that we can hear this thing boom.
Okay, I got you. Let's. Yeah, that's hard. And you can bet I'm putting this on my Beatstars page.
I was like, you better. Someone needs to pick this up, and if it's not Jadakiss, I'm gonna be real mad.
Well, actually, Jadakiss, please DM me, and then I won't put it on my Beatstars. I'll just email it straight to you.
There you go. There you go.
Then we can contact Beatstars and have them feature it. We can do a remix contest or something.
Hey, see, now we talking. So sick.
Yeah, so what
it's
I would
that tubular
probably
bell
do
for
here
me.
is- Yeah. That's it's like making beats at a gothic
so cool.
church.
Now listen, anything that gives me like freaking Jesus will strike me down and I'm gonna have a good ass time while it happens. That's the energy we're going for right here.
I don't ever think I've heard a sentence constructed in the way that you just constructed that. Generally,
I don't know that
being smitten down by a deity is a negative thing, but you made it fun.
Listen, I don't know that I've ever heard a beat quite like this before, so I had to give it a little bit of justice here. I'm no lyricist, I'm no beat maker, but I could talk the shit about it, and I could talk to you forever and ever. But unfortunately, my friend, I'm gonna have to let you get out of here because our next guest has just joined the backstage area. So I have to let you get on out of here. Finish the beat, take it over to Beatstars. If not, DM Jadakiss. But I am so pleased with everything that you got going on. This is so exciting. If you're not already, follow DJ Pain One everywhere. Like he said, he's easy to find over all facilities on the internet. You can see at DJ Pain One right there, making a beat that was quick, making a beat that was hot, making a beat feeling like I wanted to get struck down and be blessed, and all the more reason to do so because of your creative talents here on the show today. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Daily Drift today. Everyone go follow him, get on Beatstars, go do it right now, and check out the Twitch show on Tuesday afternoons. Pain One, thank you, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.